morning life at a shelter. We made it to Hogback Ridge Shelter yesterday afternoon, pretty early, about 1:30 I guess it was, and we really expected to have the place to ourselves, but there must have been 20 or 25 people here last night around the area, camping, hammocking, staying in the shelter. Gavin and I both stayed in the shelter. As I said, I figured there'd be nobody here, so I went ahead and dropped my stuff inside, and we settled in and did pretty well last night. Slept all right. We got bear hang cables down here. The only downside to this shelter is the water is about a quarter of a mile away. We had to walk down the hill and go get water. That was a pain, but we'll get there. And anyway, we're going to get our hiking going here. We've got a 10.1 mile day to the next shelter. And then tomorrow, same thing, about 10 miles to the next shelter. And then Friday, we're going to be out to Irwin and visiting with Beth and Griff, I think, for a bit. So thanks for joining along, and we'll see you at the trail. Well, we came from down that way, down in the valley. We've been climbing up a little bit. But the nice thing about a climb is you're usually rewarded with something to see when you get to the top. And so that is today. Nice ridges over there, off to the left a bit. And looks like we're gonna get closer to the edge and be able to see some things. So I'm gonna stay on for just a couple of minutes here, see what happens. Wow, that's nice. Beautiful views out this morning. Not a cloud in the sky, sun's out. It's in the mid 60s. And we're moving right along. I think it's going to be a nice day for hiking today. And I know we've got at least one or two places where we're promised some views today. Aside from this, there's Big Bald, I think, is kind of close to the end of our hike. Seems like there's another place where there's just a little bit of off-trail hiking, and we get up to see a nice view. So certainly we'll let you know when we get to that point. And looks like we're going to follow this ridgeline for a little while. Right now the ridgeline's going down, and it looks like it's going to go down faster than I want to go without poles. So let me put my phone away and concentrate on walking down the hill here. This is the view from High Rock. We just took a little short spur trail off the AT. It's no more than about 100 feet or so. And wow, what a view. Nice thing first thing in the morning to wake up and hike a little ways and then be greeted with something that looks like this. Look at that mountain range and all the valleys down below, and the way that the clouds, not the clouds, but the sun is creating shadows. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me zoom in just a little bit real quick. See what kind of a difference this makes. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Hey there, I just was going to check in and talk to you a little bit about our hike and some of the things that we've done here. I don't know that I've done a face-on video for a while, and I'm going to just pause and try to keep the sun out of the background. Yeah, I don't know, maybe not. But anyway, one of the things that we've really enjoyed is meeting people. It was interesting that last night we did yesterday we did a short day of just under 6 miles to the first shelter from our hostel the night before, and we're just kind of biding our time to get into Irwin on Friday. And we could do a little bit bigger miles, but the shelters are spaced out at a pretty good pace so that we did the 6 yesterday, and we'll do 10 and 10 and a half the next 2 days, and then just a 6 mile into Irwin on Friday morning. But you know, we expected the shelter last night to be nearly empty because we figured that most of the thru hikers that are making bigger miles than we are right now, the younger crowd, they would have passed on through. But boy, we had a big crowd last night. There were the shelter was full, and there were probably 6 or 8 tents there as well, and hammocks and such as that. So, you know, we met an awful lot of folks yesterday, and included in that, or not included in that, were several groups of folks, trail families that were passing through the shelter area to get water, and that came on down the trail. So it's been really interesting to meet people from all over. One of the fellows at the shelter last night was, he's an English teacher from England, and he teaches internationally. So he has a 90-day visa to hike as much of the trail as he can, and then he has to go back to his job. And I'm not sure where his job is. I know he mentioned being in Sri Lanka, and I can't remember now where all else, but really interesting fellow to talk to. And it's just we've met more people from further away. There was a girl in the shelter that was from Florida. A guy was from Kentucky. There was one fellow there from Winston-Salem, but he moved in there for a job, so he's not really from there. He was, in fact, quit his job and will probably relocate outside of North Carolina. So, you know, the variety of folks that we've met, and even early on in the hike, we met an awful lot of folks from other countries. We met Hansel and Gretel from Germany. Yen and Sabrina, I think, are their actual names, and we enjoyed talking to them. One of the things that's truly impressive to me is how Europeans have such a fine command of the English language, even though it's not their native language. I'm kind of propped against a tree here resting right now. But you know, we've seen a whole lot of new cultures. There was an Asian gentleman that they told me that he's Chinese, and I guess that's true, I don't know. He came in last night about dark. I was already in the bed. And he was up with the sun in the morning and made his stuff, and he didn't say much. I don't think he speaks very good English, but he was up and out this morning. But just a whole wealth of different experiences that we've had out here, meeting new people and seeing new things. The views have been phenomenal, and you know, I'm a big fan of these open forests like I'm standing in right now. And I kind of wonder what'll happen when the leaves start popping on that. But for now, that's what we've got, and it's beautiful, and we're enjoying it. So I'm gonna hang up and head on down the trail a bit. We've heard rumors of trail magic down at Sam's Gap, which is about a mile ahead. So we'll see you when we get there. We're walking up on some sort of a monument, and I probably should have read about this, and I don't remember now what it is, but we'll stop and have a look. Alrighty, Moy Rest. That's nice. I have to look up the Moy Foundation when we get home and see what that is. I don't think that it's I don't think this is a burial site. I think it's just a marker for this area here. Anyway, we'll give it a look when we get on up the trail. We're not too far from Sam Gap. So we're gonna head on up there and see if we can catch the last little bit to Trail Magic. And moving on down through the woods, we're headed for Sam's Gap. I can hear the interstate down there. And we've heard rumors that there might be Trail Magic there. We may be a little bit too late for that, and that's all right too. The only downside about a gap is it's at the bottom of something. That means we're gonna be climbing to get out of there, but that's kind of what our day was going to be about today anyway, was climbing more than we're going down. And we're just hoping that it'll be gradual and not too taxing, and that we can make good time. I think we'll be all right. We're getting stronger and we're moving better. Even on the uphills, we're moving a little faster. Still not zipping up the hills like I'd love to do, but I'm not a teenager anymore either, so I guess that does make some difference. But we'll let you know what we see when we get down the hill. Well, we've come to our second interstate on the trip. Welcome to Madison County. We're on the North Carolina-Tennessee state line. The Tennessee marker is right over there, about in the middle of the screen. Probably can't see it, it's kind of small. And this is Sam's Gap. Does look like there's some cars down there. I'm gonna wait just a couple of minutes for Gab to come out of the woods, and then we'll wander down and see if there's anything to be had for food down there. That would be kind of a nice treat. It would save us from having to eat a lunch here in a little while. But anyway, we're moving along. So we'll talk to you real soon when we get down here. Well, we've come out of Sam's Gap, and thankfully the climb out was not horrible. We did not have Trail Magic, sort of. There was a lady there selling sodas and power bars and that sort of thing. Gavin got us a Gatorade and a soda. That was good of him. He made some money selling homemade dice last night for $1 a pop. Kind of creative. And we met back up with Angel and Bullfrog. Angel and Bullfrog, whom we stayed with at the shelter last night. I think they're probably going about the same distance we are today, so we likely will hike together for a while today anyway. Gavin went on ahead to catch up. He does enjoy hiking with other people, and that's good for him to meet new folks and hear about their experiences. So anyway, we're grateful for all the folks that we've met. We're moving on up the trail, although they've temporarily stopped. I don't know if Gavin stopped them into buying more dice or what's going on up there. We'll see what happens. Well, as you hear me panting, we've been going up again, steep uphill. And I think we've reached the top of whatever it is that we're climbing. It's gorgeous up here. Looks like we might have a view off the other side. This would make a nice camping area if there was water, but I know there's no water on the peak up here. And the water that we passed down there was a half a mile straight downhill from here, or better. But anyway, let's walk over here and see what we see, and then we're going to stop and eat some lunch. And
I can't do that kind of math.
I'm retired. No, I'm retired. I don't do math anymore. Oh wow, we got a nice little bald right over here. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And God has been good to us today. We have absolutely fantastic weather. We've got a wonderful place to sit up here and eat some lunch. And we're probably pushing close to halfway to our destination today, so that's kind of nice too. Boy, these views are absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely awesome. Alrighty, this is where we're going. We just have had some lunch on the bald up here. And we're gonna have us a big day trying to get up to it, but we're about 5 miles, 5.5 from the shelter. And it's just on the other side of that. So what, maybe 4 miles or so up to the bald up there. And then we're headed on to camp for tonight. Well, still moving along here. At the moment, we're going downhill, even though we know we have to go up on top of that bald. Very frustrating sometimes why the trail goes down right before you know you got to go up. But we're still hiking. Oh wow, big rock formation right there. We're still hiking around in these little white flowers all over the place. And today they turned on the smell, and they are absolutely gorgeous. They smell really cool, really springy. I don't know whether we're going to get bad weather or not. I still feel like at some point we've been so fortunate to have only the one little bit of wintry weather. I feel strongly that somewhere we're going to get bit in the tail with a snap of cold weather, but we'll see what happens. But, well, still hiking along, and we still in the grassy areas, going up a little bit. Man, look at the view. Little fly just landed on my arm, but I think we're starting our climb now. We're still wandering along through the woods, waiting to go up on top of Big Bald. We just stopped for a bit of water, and at the moment we're doing a pretty nice gradual up. And I hope it stays that way. We all do, I think. So we'll see what happens. We're still out here in the open forest, which is really awesome. You can see down in the valleys for a long ways, both sides. I know we're going to get some really nice views up on top of the bald. All right, mountain stream of the day. This one's one that we're going to be crossing here just in a little bit. And it is absolutely, again, gorgeous. Moss, new flowers coming up right down here. Spring is about to spring. No, that's fine, go ahead. We're checking mileage to the shelter, 3.4.
Yep.
So. Yep, about an hour, hour and a half or two.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, we're continuing our climb up Big Bald, and it has forever been a climb, but the weather is gorgeous. We're still kind of out here in the open forest. Of course, it's not going to be open for much longer because spring is about to pop. few views. Oh, I didn't see the telephone pole. Whoops. But a few views off to the side. Right now the trail is flat, so we're moving right along. We're gonna take a water break here just in a little bit. We'll be at the top of Big Bald in probably 30 minutes or so, and we will sit down there and show you what we got to see, because I'm sure there'll be some good views from up there. We'll talk to you soon. So this is another little moss-covered rock garden that we're passing through. And that's where we're headed. Up there is Big Bald. I was really kind of hoping we would be a lot higher by now. We're not quite a mile away from that. So I'm afraid that's going to mean a lot of climbing to get up there. I don't know, maybe we'll get up on this ridge line and it won't be so severe. But anyway, that's going to be some really beautiful views up there. It's absolutely a gorgeous day out here today. So we're going to start climbing up these logs. I'm going to put the phone up so I can pay attention. Taking just a minute to document our climb to the top of Big Bald, and boy, it has been a workout. Rocks everywhere. This one's kind of cool. But for the last little ways, we've been zigzagging in and out of these rocks. And then once we get past that, we've got another half mile of uphills, I've heard. So we'll get to the top eventually. Alrighty, we have arrived finally. Boy, it was a long uphill climb, but we made it. And this is the top of Big Bald. And you can really see forever up here. It is awesome and incredible. I'm just gonna walk around the peak and sort of do a real quick 360. It was a hard climb. It was one of the hardest climbs we've had, especially that bit of rock business that we had to deal with. But and we got up here, and boy, the views are absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it. Look at this. And you can see forever up here. There's not a cloud in the sky to speak of. Absolutely awesome. I'm just going to keep walking around to come back around our group, and we'll see where the trail leads us out of here. We're, big hole right there, 1.2 miles from our shelter, and I think we're going to sit here and relax for just a little bit. But our trail's going to go right out that way, it looks like. It doesn't look like we're going to be far from shelter tonight. So, wow, it's been a nice day of hiking. Glad to be on the top of this thing, and we're downhill from here. Thank goodness. Well, this is our last bit of hiking off the Bald. We're getting ready to go out into the woods again. We're not too far. Our shelter was 1.1 off the peak. You can see up there where we came from. And wow, it's been a gorgeous day for hiking. Lots of hard uphills, but we'll take it for the views that we got up there. Awesome. We'll let you know when we get down to the shelter. We should be nearly there. Oh, still seeing views out here. Going down through the woods, or through the grassy areas here, off our Bald. You can still see forever. It's been a gorgeous, gorgeous day for hiking today.